you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, then what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will. And if you guys can understand that, then I'm doing my job as a father. Thank you guys so much. I love you.
So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Carrey Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
I'm here to plant a seed today, a seed that will inspire you to move forward in life with enthusiastic hearts and a clear sense of wholeness. The question is, will that seed have a chance to take root? Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying, I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant, and when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job, and our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. I realized one night in LA that the purpose of my life had always been to free people from concern, just like my dad. And when I realized this, I dubbed my new devotion the Church of Freedom from Concern. The Church of FFC. And I dedicated myself to that ministry. What's yours? How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out.
Making money online doesn't have to be difficult, as long as you're following a roadmap that can give you predictable, consistent results. And that's exactly what I want to.
As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. Like many of you, I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself, until someone smarter than myself made me realize that there is nothing bigger than myself. My soul is not contained within the limits of my body. My body is contained within the limitlessness of my soul. One unified field. And as that shift happens in you, you won't be feeling the world, you'll be felt by it. You'll be embraced by it. Now I'm always at the beginning. I have a reset button, and I ride that button constantly. Once that button is functioning in your life, there's no story that the mind could create that will be as compelling. The imagination is always manufacturing scenarios, both good and bad, and the ego tries to keep you trapped in the multiplex of the mind. Our eyes are not viewers, they're also projectors that are running a second story over the picture that we see in front of us all the time. Fear is writing that script, and the working title is, I'll Never Be Enough.
Well, in my experience, things hardly ever go perfectly, even if you want them to. Stuff goes wrong, that's just life. You know, stuff goes wrong. You're trying to make it to a meeting and there's traffic, or you have a flat tire. The odds are pretty high that you're going to have a flat tire, or you're going to get stuck in traffic, or something. But we call that going wrong. I think it's sort of just going normal. You know, I don't know why we call it wrong. But reality is, how do you prepare for the things that are liable to go wrong? That's what life kind of is when things happen, how ready were you to deal with them? Or did they just derail your plans and what you were hoping to do with your life? And it can be as simple as, okay, if you get a flat tire, do you actually know how to change a tire? Have you checked the spare tire in your car? Do you have that weird little funny locking thing that undoes the locking hub that kept someone from stealing your tire or not? Or is it in the glove box, or is it something you lost years ago? And did you have the jack and the mechanical skill? Or do you have some automobile association? Or what plans do you have? And it's not like you need to invest a huge amount of your life getting ready for that. One time you can say, at some point in my life, I'm gonna have a flat tire with this car. Let's just take the next 5 minutes and go make sure I got everything I need. And go through, open up the boot, the trunk, have a look, figure it out. Yep, I can do this, I can do it. Geez, I don't have a jack. Okay, I need to get a jack. Get the jack. And then for the rest of the time you're driving your car, you can go, I don't wanna have a flat tire, but I might someday. If I do, I got everything I need, I know how to do it, fine. And then move on to the next thing. And I sort of treat everything in my life as that potential flat tire, and I try and use the time available beforehand to be ready for it. And to me then, I'm not driving through life going, man, I hope I don't have a flat tire because I have no idea what to do, which I think just gives you an ulcer. I would much rather go through life saying, if this problem pops up, I know what to do. And when I think of some other problem that might pop up, I'm going to spend the time I got to get ready for that. And I think you appreciate life more then. You're not just driving through life all tensed up and nervous at the things that you don't know what to do. And you have sort of a calm and a confidence, so that then you notice the nuance of what's happening around you.
Here's $100,000. Wait, I can give you this 100 grand, or I can teach you how to make this every single month. You see this?
As a fighter pilot, often you're in a single seat airplane and you have a fully armed airplane and you have some task to go do, and there's a huge amount of trust that you're going to do your job properly, and we don't always get it right. I was a Cold War pilot. I would launch in the middle of the night with a fully armed F-18 with radar missiles and heat-seeking missiles and a nose full of bullets, and go out and intercept Soviet bombers that were coming into North American airspace. I had, at the flick of a couple little switches, the capacity to significantly change history, as did the crews on board the Soviet bombers. And you need a certain type of personality to be able to do that job. You have to be pretty confident. You have to be pretty cocksure about what you can do if the chips go down. And that type of personality that is needed to be a fighter pilot doesn't necessarily blend well under all circumstances. But you sort of gain this view of yourself that I've accomplished some pretty hard and rare things, and therefore I'm God's gift to any situation. I can come in, and if someone's doing some plumbing or trying to fix their typewriter or dealing with a squalling child or whatever, that I can handle this. I'm a winner. Let me take over at this. But I learned a little later in life that it's important to have those skills. But when you walk into a nuanced situation, almost never do you get the fine subtleties of it when you first walk into the room. And you come in thinking, I'm this big plus one. I am going to be a positive influence in everything that happens, and I'm going to look at this for 10 seconds and go, huh, I got that sorted, bang, 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 change this, change this. And everybody in the room goes, whoa, what a -1. That guy's a big negative. He doesn't understand anything that's going on. He thinks he does, but obviously he's just a bull in a china shop or whatever. And so a little later in life, especially when I got into the complexity of space flight, I recognized that it's a lot more beneficial to everybody, including yourself. Let's aim for 0 at the start. I'm going to try and aim to be a 0 in a new situation, so that I come in and I look around and try and soak up some of the delicate nature of what's happening. Look for the little clues. Look for the variables that I didn't even know were affecting what's happening. Try and become as informed as I can before I start trying to be a +1, and be way more selective in being a +1. And it doesn't work if the building's on fire. If the building's on fire, then you have to start taking action. But so many people treat life as if the building's always on fire, and it hardly ever is. And my experience has been, especially in a complex, multidimensional situation, which is what most of life actually is, you're far better served to target being a 0 initially. It sounds limp, but in truth, I think it's better. And target being a 0, and then selectively be a +1, and to command a spaceship. When I was teaching leadership as part of the astronaut program, that's one of the things I would mention specifically, is to think about your role, what you're going to do, how you're going to interact, how you're going to soak up a new situation, and when it's time to truly go in an authoritarian role and act. And I think a lot of people would be well served to consider that as an option.